Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me again on another adventure. So today's video is not a recipe. This one here is a repair or maybe an upgrade, however you want to look at it. But I have to stress, this is for educational purposes only. This is only what I would do to my own equipment, and I know with warranties and everything else, I just, like, if you ever watch my Raven video with my crossbow, you should be able to do what you want to do with your own equipment or product once you buy it. It's just like a car. If you buy a car, you know, if you want to add some better exhaust or put some better brakes or something like that, the warranty shouldn't be voided if it's done correctly. So, saying that, my plan is today to upgrade this Pitboss controller. This is the Wi-Fi Bluetooth Pitboss controller that is on my competition series 5 upright smoker that last week decided to just go crazy and burn as hot as it wants no matter what you do. And you're always playing with this controller anyway to get the temperatures right. Sometimes it's 10 degrees off. You'll go over a couple hours later and now it's 20 or 30 degrees off. You go in there, you clean the probe, and it may work a little better, but then sometimes it gets worse. The app never works. Like, I've done everything under the sun. Once they've changed to this new app, that was the end of it. I've used Pitbosses for many, many years. And when they had the first, I think it was called Burn Off or Burn It or something like that, that app worked great. This one here does not. And I called Pitboss and they were sending me another controller. But again, this controller right here, if the app doesn't work, or this controller, you can see the reviews on this controller, and everybody that has a Pitboss with one of these controllers knows how these work. You're always playing with the temperatures. You're trying to get things right. It's just, to me, a flawed design. And the app, you would think with all the grills that they sell, they would do something better about their app. But, so today, I own a Rectec Bullseye, and their controllers keep it within 1 to 2 degrees the whole way through. But it's a grill, and it can only go down to 200 degrees. So, I love my Rectec. I wish I could get another controller for those to do with this project that I'm about to start. But of course, you may find one on eBay every now and again for sale, but you cannot find them. And if you do find them, they still want $250, $300 for that control board. Now, I also have a Camp Chef upright smoker that is at my hunting camp up in Pennsylvania. And I had the controller there go bad one time, and I got a free one from them, and that seems to be working just fine. I can be out in the woods and go online and control the temperatures or shut it off or whatever I need to do out in the woods. So I know as long as it's hooked to Wi-Fi, I can get online and do whatever I need to do with it. So, saying that, I had bought a Camp Chef controller, brand new. And I am going to attempt to put this controller in place of this one. So I've already taken this out, but for the quality of the video, I'm going to put this back in and then show you how I took it all apart, and then we'll go from there and see how to put this one in place of this one. So this could work, or I could blow up my smoker. One way or another, we're going to see how this goes. So come along and join me. Please like and subscribe this video. I'll see you in the second here. Alrighty, now I'm in close quarters here because this is out my deck, and which is a narrow deck that I have built for my smokers. You can see this is the competition series upright smoker, and I even have a analog temp gauge here to watch the exhaust going out. I also have 2 probes inside to watch the temperatures, and yeah, that still goes crazy. It will just go off on its own and just keep rising and rising and rising. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to get this to where I can do this here for you. We're gonna take, again, I showed you this control panel earlier, but I put it back in for the purposes of showing you how you take this apart. We're gonna take these two screws out. And when this comes out, we are then going to unhook. These are just slightly put back together, so there the probe came apart, which I already had apart. We're gonna pull all these apart. Sometimes these stick really hard, and you gotta pull them apart, and that's all there is to take that out. Okay, so I will tell you that I already know that that temp probe inside there to control the board's temperature has to be changed out. This Pitboss controller temp probe will not work. This one will not plug in. So what we have to do here is I went on Amazon and I purchased a rectec heat probe, and that will be arriving today. Also, I was trying to figure out how I can put the new controller on here, because you can see that this is way shorter. It's the same width, but it's way longer. And so I have devised a plan, which I will show you later, to put this together. So in the meantime, I'm going to take this temp probe out from the inside, and it has the same kind of hookup, two little screws there, or bolts that come through, and then I'll put when the new temp probe comes, we'll be putting that in, and we'll get this switched over. So now, while we're waiting for the stuff to arrive, I'm going to show you what needs to happen. So with this Camp Chef controller here, you'll have the black and white, which is for your power. This neutral here will jump to each one of the clips. Like I put this back together a little bit to show you. On the Pitboss here, you'll see that this red and yellow are together. This purple is by itself with no white, and this just has the white to come in to control the board, to give it a neutral. So we're gonna pull this. What I did was I took this out. I took all of these. There was one pin in there with a neutral. There was one pin in this orange with a neutral, and there was a red in here with the neutral, and then the neutral comes off of your main. So I can't pull this pin out because you need the neutral to feed the board to give it power. So what I did was I just cut this and I put a small wire nut on there, and then where this red one came into here to match this one, because you have to look on here, because like on this one, the yellow is the fan, the red one is the auger, the purple here is the heat probe to get it started. I mean the heat, oh yeah, the igniter on there. So what happens is on the Pitboss new style, they have the neutral going to everything underneath to each device, and they don't need it here to feed back through each wire. So they save the wire. So what you have to do is you have to take these pins out, and you put the purple to the purple, like it will match up out there. I changed it already that this orange is the fan and the red is the igniter and all that. I already changed them over, so when I put this one out there, it will plug right together and will be feeding the same side. And of course, black and white are your hot and neutral coming in from the plug, from the receptacle. So again, this temp probe will not plug in to this, the control board here. I have to wait for the new one to come. And like I said, you can definitely see that this one's way longer. So I'm going to show you what my idea was, and you can come up with any idea you want, but we're going to show you how I'm going to put it together. But right now, all these wires, because I pulled these pins out, are all ready to hook up to that unit outside. And basically, these controllers do the same thing. They read temperature, they feed the auger, they ignite it when it needs it, and they run the fan. That's basically all the functions are of these devices. So there should be no reason why this one shouldn't work with this one. But with this one, their app works. they're at works. Now their temperature swings maybe 5 degrees or something, 5 to 7 degrees it swings, but it's way better than 100 degrees or 150 degrees difference. So, and you can use the app to actually watch what's going on. So once my other items show up today, we're gonna get this together, see how it works. Alrighty guys, so my new probe finally come. You can see it's in the afternoon now instead of the morning when I started this project. But you can see the difference here in the probes. This is the Pitboss probe, and this is the Camp Chef probe. And then you can see on the end how these two are different. This is the one we're going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and install this inside the smoker. And again, this is a very easy thing. You just would put it in here. It lines right up. I'll just swing this around here so you can see. That lines right up inside there. And then we're going to take the little screws we got with it here. I have leftover, so we're going to stick one of those right through there. Put the little nuts on there. Get that all installed. Oh, almost dropped that one down in there. You lose the nut down in there, she is gone. You're not going to get that back. All right, so we'll tighten these down now. Okay. All right, so that's all installed now. And this plate will go back on there. And now I'll stick this wire. There's a grommet in here where this wire jumps across to this side. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now because this controller is a lot bigger, same width, a lot longer though, so it's not going to match up in the holes. So I got to make some kind of mounting plate that will allow these components to be sticking through the hole where they won't, but they still won't be able to like short out or touch the metal on the grill. So what I bought was a 1-inch thick here cutting board, one of these plastic cutting boards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a mounting bracket here with this plastic, and cut this out and mount this on here, and those components won't be deep enough to go through that. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to measure this out a little bigger, then cut this center out, and then mount this on that onto the grill or the smoker. We'll see how it comes out. Okay guys, so what I did was, as you can see how that's fitting in there, is I took that cutting board that's 1-inch thick, cut this part out. It doesn't have to be, you know, professional grade or anything like that. And I made the go a little past the edges. This has an O-ring on it, so it'll seal it that way. If you want, you can put some caulk back here when it goes against the grill. The bottom screw, I didn't want to go down here because these screws will be in the way. So I put the bottom screw close to the bottom here, and then had this screw up top here, straight above this one, actually lines up with this setup. So what we're going to do is now we're going to plug everything in. So we're going to put the controller on there. Let's see, make sure I get it in right. That's the heat probe there. This thing is here giving me little fits. Make sure I get it in right. Let me take this out here, put it through this way, because this little bugger is giving me fits here. It's hard to get that little dinky clamp in there right. So it's easier if I do it outside here. Okay, now again, put that back in there. Let's see how I have this here. This is the bottom. Yep. And then we'll start putting these wires together. Like I said, I put these clips where I took it, just the white wire that was in here on each one of these on the camshaft, because you can see that's only one purple wire there. And we'll put the purple to purple. And we're gonna put the orange and red to the orange and yellow on that one. Make sure these stay pushed in. And then we're gonna put the power to her. That's the power wire right there. We're gonna push that in there. Let's see, why does it give me a little fit there? Sometimes these little pins inside here to try to get bent or get out of the way. I just had this together earlier. And that does not want to go together too well. All right. Okay. It still doesn't look right. So try to get this. It's a little hard to hold these two together. Oh, that one pin in there is a little bent to the side. Try to straighten it up. Straighten the pin. Like I said, if your pins are crooked, look at that. If your pins are crooked, it's going to fight you the whole way. All right, we're going to stuff all those wires in there now. And like I said, that's what it's going to look like on there. I did find some bolts in my shed that might just work for this, exactly what I need to do. If not, I have to run to, you can run to the hardware store. That's maybe what I'm going to have to do. Because that might doesn't, it's just not long enough. Dang it. All right, well, I'm going to have to get some different bolts for there, but you can see that's how it's going to work. So let me go try to find some bolts and we'll get her on. Alrighty, so I'm going to finish up this video here. As you can see, my controller is in. It's running, and here it's on the app on my other phone. And I have it set for 200. You see it's a 201. So I did find out that the Pitboss probes are different than camshaft probes, so none of these here will work because these are all for the Pitboss and the rectec. So I saw the camshaft one has two little circles here. You can see there's only one there on each one of these. But I hope this works for you. I'm going to use it, and like I said, this guy can take to work or anywhere else, and I can shut it down and adjust temperatures and do what I need to do. At least that app works. Thanks for visiting. Please hit the like and subscribe. See you on the next one.